Good Lord. That's all I want to say about what I saw on Saturday. What happened with the Syracuse Orange? Thing is, after Georgia Tech went down and scored their first touchdown, they made that nice little drive down into Georgia Tech territory. I thought this was going to be the back and forth type game that I expected it. And then something just seemed to turn in Syracuse's heads. They commit two stupid penalties. Then when Hunt goes back to throw, Georgia Tech picks it off. And from then on came the carnage, the slow death. The reason why I really am upset. Syracuse just plain decided, screw it. Let's not play these guys. Let's raise the flag. Let's turn our backs. Let's not play like a Central New York team that supposedly has a lot of pride. Because you know what? There was no pride there on the Syracuse Orange sideline. They just flat out quit. And when you're from Central New York, you don't quit. This is a hard scrabble area since we lost a lot of heavy industry, and we're a proud bunch for what is left. We scratch and claw for whatever we can get. When we get knocked down, we fight back. This Syracuse team did not fight back. Matter of fact, they just went into a shell and let the Yellow Jackets sting us all to hell. Boy, what an evisceration. Boy, am I disgusted. We're just like that little devil that appears on Tomcat's shoulder in that classic Tom and Jerry cartoon. I'm disgusted with you. You yellow. You lost your knife. Now listen here. You're a citizen, ain't you? You guys got rights. You Syracuse Orange are a football team, aren't you? Well, okay then. Let's start playing after the bye like we're a team and we have a bowl all to ourselves. Go on, play. That's what I want to tell you guys. You're disgusting right now. How could you let Georgia Tech do that? I'm disgusted with you. In fact, I might want to take this hat off for the rest of this broadcast. But no, put back on my personality. There. Enough about the disaster that was the Syracuse Orange. I want to talk about something good. The Buffalo Bills went down there to Miami with a little chip on their shoulder to play against a quarterback who was drafted 8th last year but is anything but mediocre. I'm going to say he's really mediocre because you know what? He hasn't done anything special and he didn't do anything special. But the way the Bills' defense sometimes plays, they even make some no-name player look good. That was until we got the defense going in the fourth quarter, especially Super Mario Williams. Sacked him twice. The second time, knocking the ball loose, and Kyle Williams picks it up. Sets up the field goal that squishes the fish. It was a sweet 23-21 win by Buffalo, especially even if Miami decided to gift wrap it. Oh, that's a word for another day, shall we? A sweet win, especially when a friend buys you a shot of Jägermeister to toast the victory. Even though it was a good victory by the Bills, it's a pretty good thing for things to come, especially when we got the most potent offense coming up this week. We go down to the Superdome to take on Mr. Breeze and the Saints. We're going to turn that breeze into a calm wind, shall we? And you know what? We're going to make Mr. Colston into some cold cuts. I think I'll take a ham on rye, shall I? Good win for the Bills. Nice win for the Bills. Let's keep the momentum going. And also with Thaddeus Lewis, another solid performance from the biblical guy at quarterback. Of course, people wonder when E.J. Manuel will be back. Well, if Lewis keeps playing like this, you know what? There might be a little bit of a thing going on. But Manuel is still going to be the starter. So let's not jump to that conclusion. And next thing I want to talk about it's that time of year again. The World Series is here. And even though I don't follow baseball like I did when I was younger, still, I'd like to know who is the best baseball team in the country. And it's a good old school matchup this year. It's the St. Louis Cardinals versus the Boston Red Sox. But there's a little bit of a subplot with me around here. I call it the Battle of the Suzannes, because two of them named Suzanne, who I graduated with, are fans of the teams. First, there's Suzanne Warmoth, who in my mind was like the little red-haired girl to my Charlie Brown. She's a big fan of the Boston Red Sox. And Suzanne Praskowitz-Strassner, who's a big fan of the St. Louis Cardinals, as evidenced by her post on Facebook, wearing a St. Louis Cardinals hat and jersey, and her son wearing a St. Louis Cardinals hat. But there's a little bit of a conundrum there. They live around Denver, Colorado, so I kind of wonder. They may look like they're fans of the St. Louis Cardinals, but you gotta wonder, how come they're not rooting for the Colorado Rockies? There's a big head scratcher there. But I digress. It's great to see those two Sues and see how they're doing. I'm proud of both of them. Getting married, raising nice families, having great careers. But the big thing with me is this. Time for my pick. Because of what happened in Boston earlier this year with the tragedy, I'm tempted to say that the Red Sox ought to win one for the city of Boston. Get the World Series back to the Red Sox. Well, we'll see what Miss Praskowitz has to say about that, but Miss Warmoth is going to really like me for that. The next thing I want to talk about is those idiots out there in Utah who decided to deface a national park by tipping over that boulder. And their lousy excuses. Oh, it was a safety hazard. Oh, I had a bad back. Lousy excuses for guys who obviously don't know the difference between leaving stuff alone and being dunces. 'Cause you deserve to wear a big dunce cap instead of a Boy Scout cap for tipping over that ancient history. That rock had been there millions of years, and in just one fell swoop, because you decide to be like two in a room, you decide to wiggle it just a little bit. Guess what? You changed a little of ancient history forever by tipping over that boulder. And guess what? You got your ass canned from the Boy Scouts. And guess what? You made an idiot of yourself by laughing like a hyena and pushing on a thing that probably weighs about 1,000 pounds or more. That shows you didn't have a bad back, you yutzes. And you know what? Good riddance. I don't want to see you again, 'cause guess what? If I see you come around upstate New York, I'm going to tip you over like a boulder. I'm going to hit you on the head. And that's all my ranting for this week. Boy, am I angry from what the Orange did this past week. And you know, that bye comes at a good time. 'Cause you know what? It's the Demon Deacons up next. And good riddance to those yutzes in Utah. Boy, I'll be better when this program's over. I'm Ken Haas. That's my story. See you later.